Oh, hi there. Welcome back to the BogeyBallSociety. We have a ridiculously fun episode for you tonight. Today, depends on what time you're listening, to be perfectly honest. Amanda J. Beeler, she is a golf coach. She is located in Northern California. She's on Skillist. She's all over my Instagram feed. I'm a little bit obsessed, as you'll find out in the video. It's just a real pleasure to get to have her on. She's funny. I will give you a heads up. There are some adult words used in this episode, so if you've got kids that are listening, we do try to give you a little bit of a heads up. I think the earmuffs is uttered at least once. Anyway, follow along. See who wins the battle of great questions. I'll give you a hint. The person who wins has more hair than I do. Anyway, take a listen, hang out, we'll talk on the other side. All right, see you soon.
One kid in particular turned around to me and he goes, I think you really have to you shouldn't look up at the hole until the putt's away and through impact. And I'm like, don't talk back to coach.
Who's the one in charge? Yeah.
Right.
I have to do that a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so welcome back to BogeyBallSociety. I am Matt. Hayes is here as per usual. And our guest today is Amanda Beeler. Amanda, thank you so much for coming on. I follow you on Instagram.
Thank you.
I can't get enough of the social media stuff you're putting out. And I kind of took a shot in the dark and threw you a message, and you were gracious enough to come on. So thank you very much for being here.
Oh, I'm always shocked when anybody is like, I love your stuff. And I'm just always shocked that anybody's paying close enough attention. But then it's a whole nother level when people are like, will you please come on my podcast? Yes, girl. Yes, I will come. Let's do it.
Excellent.
Yes.
For the record, you're calling Hayes girl, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Great. No, I just want to clarify
that PXG
so that
hat. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So
I
tell
don't
us
even know what to say to that. So
tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started coaching. What's your story? How did this happen?
I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and my introduction to coaching golf started with the first tee of Memphis. And I was just out of college, and I got hired on as kind of like an assistant to the assistant program director and the program director, just to aid them in whatever kind of coaching we were doing. So we were running full programming all summer. We were running a girls' golf program. We had a teenage grouping of kids. And then within the first tee, you might get asked periodically to go be a coach on site at a first tee camp that would be at like Kansas State or something. And so you'd be able to take some of your kids with you from your program and be one of the counselors at that. And so my introduction to coaching really started there. My introduction to private coaching also started there because there was a dad who had his daughter in the program, and he really wanted her to get some private instruction. And he said, "You're the only girl coach, and I want a girl coach for my girl daughter. So can you help her?" She was about 8. I was like,
Yeah.
"Sure. I don't know anything about anything yet, but I will happily assist in any way." And from that, I worked with the first tee for about a year. Then a job opening happened at the first tee North Bay out here in California. And I got offered an opportunity for an interview, and they were looking for a program director. And I had just barely enough experience to do that. And so they hired me. And that was in 2005 when I moved out here to Northern California. And I did that for about 2.5 years, and I got fully burnt out on nonprofit work. And then I started to pursue the full lifelong hustle of being a golf coach, like a private lesson golf coach. And so when I started at Healdsburg Golf Club, which is where I still am now, I was working a couple of days in the shop, and then I was filling the rest of my time with private instruction. And then it got to where that outweighed any available time I would have in the shop. And that was my general manager's idea anyway, was let's Let's have you, fill your lesson book by
Yeah.
making friends with the people that are in the shop so they at least know who the teaching pro was. And I say this all the time. I was not happy about what our arrangement was going to be, which was
Mm,
work in the shop and also work on I just wanted to go straight to the T.
sure.
But nobody knew me in that
Mhm.
capacity. They didn't know that I was offering instruction. And so that was his genius behind that. And this is not a new model, but it was one that I hadn't considered. And so I did that. And then once my lesson book got really full, then I just started teaching full time. And that was around 2009.
Okay.
So I've just been the director of instruction now since then. And that includes
Wow.
running a
Okay.
full junior academy, adult academy, and private instruction. And that's all at Healdsburg.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
Okay.
that in that sequence of
Thank you.
events, like that first time that dad said, "Can you teach my daughter?" And that kind of springboarded you. Was there a seminal moment where you're like, you know what, I'm good at this and I can do this? I mean, can you kind of
Yeah,
what
it's great.
was that kind of the launching pad?
I would say no. I would say
Okay.
no. I still wasn't even a member of the LPGA yet.
Okay.
I was not part of the teaching and club professional arm of the organization. That didn't start until I moved out to California.
Okay.
Um, and even at that time, I wouldn't say that I had an experience where I was coaching somewhere and I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
This is actually what happened. I'm so glad you asked, Chris. No, Coach Hayes. I'm so glad you asked because the the what I was invited to play in a invitational scramble sort of thing up in a town that's about 45 minutes north of here. And the people that I got paired with, of them, one of them was a regular there at Ukiah. We
Oh,
played 18 holes together, and he was like, "Hey, you got a really good swing. I don't know why you're not playing professionally." I was like, "I'm not playing professionally because it's expensive. I don't want to pay to get in. I don't want to pay the amount of money it takes for me to train. I don't have a whatever." Like I filled in all these excuses about why I wasn't playing professionally. He was like, "Well, I'll sponsor you to play in an event." It's like, "Okay, great. I'll find one." So I found one in a neighboring town. It's about 3 hours from here. It's in Chico.
okay.
And I went. I kept it as cheap as I could. I stayed in a Motel 6. I thought I was gonna die. Then the next day, I got up, played the practice round. That was cool. Um, then the next day, we had our first round. I shot 73, and I was, like, beyond excited because I hadn't competed in about 7 years.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
Next day, went back out, shot 78 or high 70s, something like that. Coming in on the last couple of holes, I'm playing with the girl that ended up winning the tournament,
Oh,
and
wow.
Hmm.
she's, was really complimentary of how I hit the ball, like, all the same stuff I'd been hearing my whole golf life,
Hmm.
and she finished first, probably made, I don't know, maybe $1,000 or something. I don't know what the purse was, I have no idea.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
finished in the dead center of the pack. There was 30 women, I finished 15th. I didn't win any money because there wasn't a lot to be won,
Hmm.
and I left and drove home, and I knew I'm not playing professional golf. I am really
Wow.
good at coaching. I am good at playing, but I am not great at playing because I want to be at home. I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to be away all the time. I'm happy to work hard at helping people get better. And it was so good for me to see the difference between trying to play professionally versus trying to teach professionally.
Hmm.
And that's when I really knew. I mean, it's a great question, but that's when I really
Hmm.
was like, "Oh, I'm in the right lane. I'm doing the right thing for me."
Yeah.
I love playing golf, and I'm a decent golfer, but I'm a really good coach, I feel.
Hmm.
That's where I've
Cool.
seen the most success in my golf life is in my coaching career, I feel like anyway.
Well, and you clearly love it too, right? I mean,
Thanks.
I love too that the last, I think it's the last 3 weeks, there's been a rookie that won on the PGA Tour. So Michael Brennan's not technically a rookie, but he's a young guy. He's one of these, he was
Yeah.
just out of college. But that the reality of what it takes to actually play professional golf, I think you just really nailed that. Like I have thought about that a few times, not with my swing. We'll get into that later. But the idea of doing anything professionally,
Matt likes a challenge.
I mean, it's a movie. It's a Happy Gilmore, if we're gonna get there. But the idea of being away from your family, being on the road, all of the expenses, all of those things, I think it's a thing that doesn't really get talked about that much, or at least not. And I watch a lot of golf, and I feel like it gets
Yeah.
touched on every once in a while. And the grind that these guys go through and these women go through, especially on those lower tours, just to get
It
good
is
enough to.
It is
Oh my
not
God.
understood. No, and it is not understood. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And when everything was going on with Liv coming onto the scene and all these professional men being offered the opportunity to go play on Liv, and they were taking
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
And it was a huge disagreement. And I had a huge debate with this regular at the golf course, and he was like, "What do you think about Liv?" And I was like, "I'm so happy that these professional players are being offered a contract to play golf, just like every other professional athlete is being offered a contract to play golf. I think it's interesting. I want to see
Mm.
what happens." He
Yeah.
was like, "Well, I hate that part. What I love about golf is that you earn your money." I'm like, "Yes, yes, I appreciate that. That's how
Yeah.
you keep your contract, is you win." And he was adamant that it was the denigration of the league. And
Mm.
maybe it was. Maybe it was I mean, clearly we're seeing a lot of negative about it now, but at the time, we kept seeing, and you know this better than I do. I don't watch as much golf as you do. I watch it, but I don't. It's the way I earn. I'm not
Yeah.
trying
Oh,
to do
totally.
it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but w- when you watch a lot of golf, you're seeing the same 12 names all the time.
Yep.
So if we have a scenario, and this is what I thought was really interesting this year when they were talking about moving towards match play in these
Mhm.
events, like I think it's in 2027 or 2028, taking the PGA and moving it towards match play events
I
where you
love
actually
this.
start to see names that you've never heard in your
Yeah.
life. Right. So
Mhm.
it was, in my perspective, the way that the reason that Liv was interesting to me is I was like, okay, this is cool because never in the history of our sport are players offered an opportunity to play under contract. Now, the amount of money
Wow.
that they were being given was staggering,
Yeah.
staggering, right? Millions and millions of dollars. But I'll never forget watching DJ be asked, what was it like for you when they offered you however many millions of dollars? And he's just as in very DJ fashion, like, I don't even know why this is a question. Of course, I would do
Yep.
this is my job to provide for my family. Why
Yep.
wouldn't I? If you were
Yeah.
being given an opportunity to contractually play sports and
Yep.
you knew that you were going to be getting a paycheck every single week for playing
Yeah.
sports, you'd do it too.
Yep.
Right? It's
And it's
for,
and it's
and it's not
generational wealth.
about.
It's not even. It's
It's the kind of money we will never understand.
No.
Right? It's the kind of money we would never understand.
No. It's incredible.
Hold on, the podcast could take off, and then
And then we would understand.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
right,
hey, listen,
Coach. That's true. That is true.
I'm happy to have you back on when that happens, and we can revisit this and talk about. And we'll just throw money the whole time. It'll be fantastic.
Might be some gold in my teeth,
Perfect.
but
That'd be great. If
everything
we're
else
all
will be the same.
wearing grills, that would be amazing.
Yep, a big gold PXG necklace. Just that's what you really need.
Yeah,
like a
there
big
we go.
diamond studded. Yep, yep. I think
From
we just
Bob
found our
Parsons
thumbnail.
house, even.
Exactly.
Terrific.
Oh, that's awesome. So, did you go to college for golf, like on a scholarship, or did you? Was
Yeah,
that?
I
Okay, I
did.
missed. I wasn't sure. I assumed, but I wasn't 100%. So I wanted to make sure.
I did. I went to school at Arkansas State, which
Okay.
is an hour and a half north of Memphis, so pretty close to home for me.
Great.
But I played all 4 years at Arkansas State. Had a great career. People want me to tell this. I'm always really uncomfortable telling it, but I got inducted into the Hall of Honor at my university in 2018 because of my
Holy
college golf
smokes,
career. So I was pretty good.
that's
I'm not that good
awesome.
now, but I was pretty good. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's incredible.
We were really good. I felt like we were really good.
Yeah.
And Arkansas State it's in the Sun Belt Conference. It's not a huge conference, but we would see those larger teams when we would get invited to play at Ole Miss, or we would get invited to play in
Okay.
Memphis, or whatever. We would start to see SEC programs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I want to go back to, your love for your professional and what you're doing,
Yeah.
because I want to ask you, like, has the love affair continued as the profession has changed? And what I'm specifically referring to is like the advent of launch monitors and technology, and now we're moving into this AI app can analyze your swing, and
Hmm.
is it getting more fun, different? How has it changed in your mind, and do you still has it enhanced your enjoyment as a teacher, or has it been a real pain in the asses because as a teacher?
So that's a great question. And
Man, I'm 2
I've,
for 2.
I know.
yeah, but
I'm
I
keeping
feel like
track.
it's kind of, I feel like it's, yeah. Okay, it's
Little
twice.
check.
Matt's
Yeah,
out of
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, the there's early in my career when technology was available, like you could video someone's swing, but you were carrying a suitcase around in order to
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
analyze the swing on camera and stuff. Um, it always rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, this is too, and it's just my naivety, and it was also my ego getting in the way and saying, I shouldn't need a camera to tell you what you're doing. But it was really like a mask for me to say, I feel like a fraud out here. And if I show you what you're doing, I probably won't be able to tell you what you're doing. So,
Mm,
really, how I feel about technology, TrackMan, Rapsodo, Skillist, V1, all of these platforms actually make us as coaches better for our players because it makes us analyze in a different way. We need to be able to tell you not just what you're doing wrong, but where you need to be so that you can hit the way you want to. And
yeah.
once I checked my ego at the door and allowed myself to embrace that technology was there as a guide and a help for me, it helped me to be a better coach. So
Hmm.
I'll say that. And then for the way things are going with just the sheer volume of information that you can get your hands on, not only as a coach, but as a player, that is I like to walk a fine line with that, not just for myself, but also when my players come in, they're like, "I was watching so and so or blah, blah, blah said this," or whatever, and then they get to a place where like, "I actually stopped looking at everything because it was too much noise for me."
Hmm.
And, what I think is so there's that, and, you have to, like, mind yourself. You have to really pay close attention to how much time you spend going down a rabbit hole on some coaching style or some method or even looking at 40 coaches in the matter of 10 days like this it's just too much information I think so
Yeah.
we have to be really cognizant of how much we
Yeah.
consume I think and then the other piece too with what you were saying on can you see this right here this is from my
Y-
disco ball
Yeah.
I have a disco ball in the window and it's the sun is bouncing off my neighbor's house into the disco ball and then it's cast anyways.
Oh,
It's too
no,
bad
it's fine.
I
Yeah.
okay. Um,
Yeah, the sun
with
the sun already
AI,
went down where Hayes is, so his disco ball won't light up, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
that is really
yeah.
sad. Where are
It
you?
is.
I'm in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hours ago. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Right. It is
Right?
sad.
Um, uh, but with AI, it's been interesting because I've had some companies reach out to me. They want me to, "Here, will you make a handful of videos talking about our AI app that we think
Huh.
could really elevate your coaching?" And I don't wanna do that, I guess, primarily because I just think, like, how can whatever you're gonna provide be better than what I would provide? So it's kind of
Hmm.
both
Yeah.
sides of, I don't want to do that because I don't think it would be better, but also, like, I don't wanna cause any threats to my job, but then the other side of it is, how could you be a threat to my job when you're
Hmm.
gathering all the information from me anyway? Me being the collective
Yep.
unit of coaches, not just me, but just all of us. So, AI is interesting in a lot of ways. I also I don't know, like, that's a whole political discussion because the data centers and how much water they take, it's like a whole whole 'nother thing.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, I try not to use it as much, but it's hard not to because it's available. And
Yeah.
specifically with Skillist, like, that's the platform that I use to analyze all my players' swings. There's a brilliant a brilliant tool that is in there called Shadow Pro, and Shadow Pro makes it so that, Coach Hayes, if you and I were working together and I give you any information, Shadow Pro will take what I give you in the drills, it will create a transcript, and then you can have me in your ears at the practice range. It'll go through the
Oh,
drill,
man.
and it'll
What?
talk with you, right? Yeah, I mean, it's an excellent feature. So the use of AI in that
That's
way,
cool.
I am
Yeah.
1000% on board for because it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you just go to it and you're like, "Hey, Chad, why do I keep slicing the ball?" It's gonna give you 40 reasons why you might be
Sure.
slicing the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
It's not tailored to you. So that's why I still feel like if you, the player, are pursuing getting better, I'm not gonna encourage you to go to AI to help you. I mean, maybe it's gonna help you if it's analyzing your movement patterns and then it spits you anyway, there's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
million directions it could go, but anyway.
Well, 2 points of feedback. One, I had no idea that I would start to be called Coach Hayes on the podcast. I freaking love that. So let's keep
Yeah.
doing that. Yeah.
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 And two, you reminded me of it's on YouTube when Butch Harmon gave a presentation at the PGA Education Summit, and he talked about what he sees as like the problem of technology, like a glut of instructors who are just constantly staring at the box and the numbers,
Oh,
and
interesting.
they're not watching the
The
ball fly.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Is that valid? Do you find yourself kind of caught between the
Oh,
two, or how does it? If I'm on site with you, are you watching the ball, or are you looking at the gizmo? A little bit of both.
it's a great question. I'm looking at both because
Three. That's three.
I know, man. He's crushing it
It's
tonight.
100%. He's 100%.
It's because it's dark where you are. That's what
That's
happened.
right.
You had some time to like soothe your mind and get your brain right.
That's true.
The thing that so with his assessment of like what's it like for a player and a coach to spend time together on the practice tee, you, the player, are not looking at the screen the way I am.
Mhm.
Right.
You're gonna video yourself and maybe you know what to look for, but it's pretty likely you don't know what to look for. You're just looking at yourself and you're like, "Man, I really hate the way my swing looks," or "Good Lord, I need to gain some weight," or "Good Lord, I should probably get back in the gym," or what, like fill in the
Yeah.
blank of
Right.
whatever your thing is
Yep.
about yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I'm looking at geometry. I'm trying to see where the club is moving in space. I wanna see what happens, like, where's your pivot when you're coming back into the hit, because all of those things impact where the ball is gonna fly. And so if I can get you to understand that I need you to do this to make the ball do what you want it to do,
Yeah.
then that's where the technology and the eyeballs of the human being actually really start to make a pretty strong union. There was another thing that was said that has stuck with me as a coach for I cannot stop thinking about this, and I heard it from Mark Blackburn. He's like the number 1 rated coach in the world.
Yeah.
And he said to a group of coaches, he said, "If you wanna be a millionaire as a golf coach, all you need to do is fix someone's slice or hook, and you'll be making money for the rest of your career."
Wow.
So it doesn't matter really how much technology I use. It's like
Mhm.
going into a simulator. Let's say I was a coach that in Ohio, for example, it's a good example. It's really brutal in the winter.
Mhm.
It's courses are frozen over. I don't want to be outside, like fill in the blank of whatever. If I'm working with you in sim, if I'm working with players in a sim all day long, all of us are tied to the numbers on the screen.
Yeah.
But which of those numbers are going to be the most important for either of us to care about? It's club face and face to path. That's it.
Mm.
There's
Mhm.
like 50 metrics we can look at. But if
Yeah.
you know what your club face is to path,
Mhm.
then you're fine. Right? Like if you know what those things are, and then you know how to manage those things, and that's where my job comes in is to help you understand, okay, well, why does the ball go there? Well, this is what your face is doing related to the path. Okay, well, why is your path 15 degrees? Why is your path off the screen?
Mm.
Right? Let's get your path back on the screen. And then let's
Mhm.
make the face be pretty close to that path. Okay, well, cool, coach. How do you do that? And then that's where the work comes in.
Right.
Man, you just reminded me about I have like 7 follow-ons to that one, but I'm going to defer to my buddy here.
Okay.
Well, this is perfect because I sent Amanda my
Yeah.
swing. I sent it down the line and I sent it face on. It's the most
Speaking of where a golfer is in space,
yeah, no, it's one of those things where like I am under no delusion that I have a great swing. I make it work. And I have gotten
Yeah.
better over the course of the years. But there are so many things when I watch myself on camera, I don't like it. But I do the same thing. I'm thinking about things other than the golf swing. I'm mostly looking at like is where are my hands at the top? That's the only thing I really know what to look for. I don't know, and even that
Sure.
I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a coach. And what made me laugh was, and I'm going to throw it up here, and we'll sort of talk around it a little bit. But
Okay.
your video, well, I think you talked for about 11 minutes. And in those 11 minutes, there was more information about the things that I was doing wrong. And in particular, one thing, which my left knee, and I have known this for a long time, that I pick up my foot like a baseball player. Like I pick up my lead heel. I played baseball my whole life growing up. It's just that, and even when I try not to do it, I do it. And Amanda like zeroed in on this, and what astounded me was using the little skeleton tool. So sort of it's the perfect harmony of like, not only was she watching it, but then she was diagnosing it while I was watching her diagnose it. Put little dots, and like the dot on my left knee, it moved so much that I believe the direct quote that Amanda said while she was watching it. If you've got sensitive ones, if you've got little ones listening, close the ears now, earmuffs. She said,
earmuffs.
She said,
Jesus fucking Christ.
As the knee just kept moving, it kept moving further and further away from where it started. And the thing is, I was thinking it while I was watching it, like, what are you doing with your knee?
Yeah.
I didn't know that I did that.
What's happening?
I genuinely didn't know that. I told my wife, I tapped her on the shoulder and I was like, look at this. And she's like, I'm busy. Like she was working on something else.
Out of here. Yeah.
But my left foot ends up pointed, my heel ends up basically pointed at my back foot. Like it's a crazy move. And I've looked at my swing quite a bit. I'm that guy. Like I'll film myself just, yeah, it looks okay. I don't know what I'm looking at. But it was,
what are we doing?
It was pretty shocking to see
it's a swing.
what you saw right away. And I consider 11 minutes right away. And like at the end of the 11 minutes, it sounded to me like you were like, oh, I know exactly what to do. We would work on this, and this. Like it was such a fascinating, eye-opening thing to have an expert actually look at a swing and just diagnose it and just be like, yeah. And also like, we're not friends. It's not like you're afraid to hurt my feelings. You were just looking at it and saying the things in real time, which I genuinely appreciated. I kind of loved that it wasn't like, I looked at your video for 3 hours and I came up with a little, it was like live, like a live.
It was real time. Yes.
It was, but it was so great. And I gotta say, like it gave me a lot of confidence that A, you know what you're talking about, and B, I can get better. Because if I'm making a move that is that drastic and I'm still managing to put the club on the ball in any kind of consistent fashion, I actually was like, kind of elated, like, oh my God, there's an actual fix to, because I thin it sometimes, I fat it sometimes. Most of the time, my contact is pretty good with my irons, but I have okay rhythm, but I'm moving so much that no wonder. It sort of feels like it's a magic trick a little bit. So with all of that said, when you see somebody swing like that for the first time, let's say somebody on Skill List finds you, submits a video, you have that conversation. How do you go about attacking something like that, where there's a very specific flaw? And there were more. I'm just focusing in on that one. But if you see the flaw and you're not in person, right? So Skill List is designed specifically so that you can offer your services to people all over the country, all over the world, theoretically. I don't think there's a region blocker on it. So,
no, there isn't.
How do you start? And I'm not asking for free lessons. But like, how do you say, okay, great, let's start here. Like, how do you distill it down? Obviously, this is where the expertise comes in and the years of coaching. But for somebody to feel, because I'm guessing the first time I swing, trying to not pick up my heel is going to feel bonkers. And the
So
100th
weird.
time is going to feel bonkers. And I don't know how many times it's going to take before it to feel normal, but how do you coach that? How do you help that? Not even
Yeah.
that specific thing, but a very specific flaw, so that somebody who's not in
Yeah.
your presence can understand and start to work on the feels, or the reality versus the feel, whatever, the feel versus real, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the feel versus real. Okay, Matt, great question.
I got
Okay,
one.
he's catching up to
Finally
you.
on the board.
Okay, you
All
got
right.
yes. So the thing about working on skill, I know 3-1. I know he's Coach
got more in
Hayes.
the
You
pipeline.
can't talk anymore. That's the only way this is
Yeah,
going to work.
exactly.
Right.
We're gonna have to bench you
I
for a
will
little bit.
accidentally find him muted. Whoops. Sorry, bud.
So the thing about Skillist, and it took me some practice to really understand this piece of it. Skillist is a reduced experience of an in-person session, because
Sure.
if it's in person like it is right now, we can bounce the ideas off each other. I can say, I want you to do this, or this. It's going to feel like this, or this. I don't have that luxury when I'm training on someone online like yourself.
Yeah.
So what I would say, in that 11-minute diagnostic, I would say, okay, there are these things that I see that we need to work on. This first week or this first lesson, I'm only going to focus on this. These are the drills that are going to help you get that foot under control, to feel like
Okay.
instead of swinging your heel towards your midline, you're actually swinging your heel towards the target. And so here are the drills to be able to do that. What does that feel like? Here's some things that I want you to try. It is
Okay.
not going to feel like you're, as you make your move into, like, even look, just specifically with you, and let's just use that example
Sure.
as per this conversation. And you tell me, as a batter, because I've watched a lot of batters step
Mhm.
in and their feet are turned in. And even when they step, they're even move. So let's say this is the heel. They're
Yeah.
moving that heel even further. Instead of going like this, they're moving that heel even further, landing and then opening.
Yeah.
Because they need to feel some sort of resistance to turn into. So it makes their femur act like a brake, instead of feeling like their femur is just flayed open out there.
Interesting. Okay.
And so when as a player, for like figuring out how to coach you as you're trying to work through this, we start with a really small swing. So I'll give you a very small drill, whatever
Okay.
the drill is, and I'll tell you, it's probably better for you to not go to the driving range and do this, because you, just like me and any other player, are immediately going to go to full swing, full speed.
Yeah.
So go to the
Yeah.
short game area
Okay.
and practice these little tiny pitch shots, but feeling what it feels like to keep your heel closer to the target, or if nothing else, just keep your kneecap pointed in the direction of the ball for longer.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I immediately stood up at my desk and was trying to figure out, how do I keep my knee pointed at the ball? I mean, it was a fascinating, like, I wish I had video of that. I should have actually videoed that. Like, wait,
Yeah,
I'm
that
doing
would
what
be
with
cool
my,
to see.
but I will tell you that the toe out and the heel back, that started because I was very heavy about 2 years ago. I've lost a considerable amount of weight, but I had very, very limited rotation in my hips. And I had seen something online that was like, well, if you point your toe out, it increases your flexibility, so your ability to
Yeah.
turn. And so,
Yes.
but what I
goes
didn't
up through
change,
the roof.
what I didn't change was lifting the heel. So now it got doubly compounded, because now my toe is pointed this way, and my heel is even, like, now it's doing this extra move
Yeah. You
in
have this
towards
whole
my
swing thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a crazy,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, cool. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
So just taking it small thing by small thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Well, is that another challenge of kind of the online environment? Is like, if someone does have a physical limitation, it's
Gotta be.
probably a little harder to sniff that out, right?
Well, I
'Cause
have to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And one of the best things that exist for skillless, and this is for me and a handful of other coaches, is there's a 15-minute call that's free. Like, as soon as you follow me, you get a message. It's an automated message for me, but that automated message invites you to schedule a free 15-minute phone call with me. And it's in
That's
that call that
fantastic.
I can ask,
Yeah.
what's the problem? What do
Yeah.
you think is happening? And I was gonna, I didn't say it in the analysis, I don't think, but when I see movers just like you, Matt,
Mhm.
it's inherently they have a job where they sit. And so
Yeah.
their hips are super tight because they sit.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that fix of like, let's flare your feet out so that you have
Yeah.
more mobility in your hips. And here's my counter answer to that. I actually don't want you to feel like you're going to rotate your hips anyway. I want you to feel like you're going to rotate your rib cage. I want your hips to
Oh.
go up and down, vertical. It's vertical. Yes,
Oh,
the
this is
pelvis moves in space.
amazing.
It does. But the chest is the active mover.
Okay.
So if the chest is the active rotation, and just think about it like this, right? If either one of you stood with your toes pointed perpendicular, they're at the target line, so their toes are perpendicular. Which part of you is going to move and rotate freer? Your ankles, like be able to move in space, like go in a circle, your ankles or your chest?
Sure. Yeah.
Chest, right?
It's going to be your
Absolutely.
chest because it's the
Right.
farthest away thing from the thing that's connected to the ground.
Right. The lever
So
or whatever.
if we're talking at that thing like halfway from the ground to my head, okay, now my pelvis has this job that everyone has been like, you need to fire your hips. You need to really fire your
Oh my
hips.
God.
Get your hip
Oh.
bumping over to the target. Now we're going to really fire the hips. Okay. Early extension, sliding off the planet, club face is wide open. Okay. I don't want to fucking do that twice. So now I'm going to really twist the handle. So now
Yep.
I'm going to snap book it the other way. No wonder I have a
Have
job
you
for the
been
rest of my
following me
life.
on the course?
I have.
Because
I have.
this is creepy.
Google Earth has
Yeah.
been very helpful. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing though, right? It's like if we start to kind of reverse engineer the pattern,
Yeah.
let's just go backwards. Think about it like this. If you think about, and I tell this to my players all the time, whether they're baseball players, tennis players, it doesn't matter, even if they didn't have any sporting background.
Sure.
But especially my baseball players. The golf swing pattern is closer to throwing a baseball than it is to hitting a baseball.
Oh, that's
Sure.
Okay.
great.
So, okay. Now think about this, Matt. You too,
Whoa.
coach, because you're going to have to tell your players that want to hit bombs all day long. And they probably were baseball players at some point in their life.
Yep.
Think about submarine style pitching. Just picture it in your mind.
Yep.
It's not sidearm, it's sub. Think about the spine angle of a submarine style pitcher. They start, they're looking at the batter. They go into their windup, and when they land like this. And now they're throwing this way.
Yeah.
This is golf.
Oh,
Right?
that's the golf
My
pose.
axis. Yep.
Yeah.
My axis is here, and I'm swinging around this, right? So if I have my golf posture, this would be my golf posture. My head would be up here, and my golf club is here. This golf club goes up. Actually, we'll just do it like this. It goes up, and then I want to come back down and be able to hit the ball. But look at where my axis is. If I go like this, and then I'm here, this is a slice. Unless I roll the handle, then I'm going to hook it. But if I can stay in my geometry, bam.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes. I used to be a pitcher, and that was my real love. And I was never actually a great hitter. So explains a lot about my golf game. Trying to.
But if you
trying
try
to
to
act
hit
like
it, if you try to
act
hit
like
the-
a hitter,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. But
Yeah.
Right. If you just stop acting like a hitter and start moving like a thrower, and just understanding where does the hand need to
Wow.
pass through
Yeah.
space. It's not passing up by your shoulder. It's passing down in the hit zone.
Oh, that's
Good.
fantastic.
Cool.
Let's pivot real quick to because really I don't know how you do the social media clips. I'm trying to figure it out because they're so short, and I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I have a hard time not talking. And anytime I've done any kind of like
What?
social media thing, I know it's a shock.
It's quite loquacious.
Yeah. Chatty Cathy was my nickname in high school. So, It wasn't really hazed. It's okay. That didn't mean to throw
It
you
should
for a
have
loop.
been.
It should have been.
Right.
But that idea of like you are able to impart so much information in a 30-second clip or a 1-minute clip, and it's the first thing that I noticed about your social media presence is just you have
Thank you.
so many fantastic little tips, and they're all really workable. The chipping stuff, the like, not this, and you've been able to use. I don't know how much practice you've had, but the stuff you're putting out is so usable and user friendly and really, really
Thank
easy
you.
to comprehend and to
Thank
understand.
you.
How long have you been doing that? And it, did you just have a knack for it from the beginning, or have you been progressively getting better? Because it's really fascinating.
Okay. Thank you for the compliment, and thank you
Okay.
for asking. The first reel that I put out, I don't know if you saw this reel recently, but I was with a student and I had a pixelated circle around her head, and I was talking to her about the club face. If you didn't see that video, it went out on Facebook just very recently again. It's gone out
Okay.
multiple times over the last year.
Oh,
But in any case,
got it.
Like
that
pixelated, like you
video,
were covering her identity kind of thing?
yes, I was hiding her
Oh,
identity
yeah?
because I didn't
Okay.
get permission from her to post the video.
Got
So
it.
I covered her
Oh, okay.
face. And
And there was a
um,
warrant out for her arrest, that kind of thing?
I mean,
Exactly.
that's really the
Yeah.
reason why. So
You gotta get paid.
I know. Hey, so
If you have information
I
about this
posted that
woman,
video. And I felt really good about the video that I built, and I put it out, and it kind of fell flat. And I was like,
Hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
what is the problem? What is it? And it was built a little different than the way you see it today. It was just the
Okay.
shot of me and her. I didn't zoom in. I didn't crop anything. I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't put any text or captions on there. Nothing. I just lobbed it out there, and it fell flat.
Hmm.
And then I had a phone call with a guy named Carrot Gray, and he is the coach. He is my coach for how to do social media and all the other stuff I do on the
Cool.
backside of my business.
Mm.
And Carrot actually took a look at that video and he said to me, "You talk too much. That's why people aren't listening." I'm not saying this to you, Matt, because I think you talk. I like how much you chat. I want to chat that's how I chat all the time.
I'm a chatter.
But
That's what I got.
in a reel,
Yeah.
but in a reel, it's very unlikely that if you don't know me, I'm not gonna hold your attention for very long if you've not listened to anything I've had to say before, and that's what I
Sure.
was finding when I first
Mhm.
put that out. Nobody knew me, so they weren't gonna be listening to me.
Yep.
I got into his course. He taught me how to make a piece of content that is consumable. The video that you mentioned about chipping, do this, don't do this. Do this, don't
So
do
great.
this. Do this,
Yeah.
don't do this. That is after being in his course for a little bit of time, understanding how to build a reel that would go viral, and then me taking my own ideas around what I like to communicate in chipping and building a video that is this, 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 this. Now go do it.
Yeah.
And simplifying it, but using graphics, zoomed in the right amount. It's really
Yep.
clear. You need a microphone. Like
Yep.
there's a handful of things that every creator needs. A decent camera, but great audio.
Mhm.
100%.
You need to
Yep.
have some sort of you need to have some sort of graphic that's going to make it so that it's appealing to a person that doesn't know you and also might
Yep.
not know what you're talking about. And then the other things that I've learned, and this is just from like Instagram creators corner or whatever they call it, and it's creators giving creators ideas about how to make a content go viral.
Oh,
And they'll
cool.
talk about things like you should put music over your video. You
Yeah.
should use captions, but put them here. If you really want people to go through
Oh,
your automation,
yep.
then you need to put a call to action. You need to have a good hook, which is going to make someone who's on their like search page and they're like, stop slicing the ball off the planet. I'm like, yes, I want to stop slicing the
Yeah.
ball off the planet. So
Yeah.
you open my reel. So that thing before you open it, that's the hook.
Okay.
Okay, great. I just got your attention. Let me see if I can hold your attention.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
the next piece of the puzzle. And your content needs to be, it needs to get to the point pretty quick, right? Like some of the stuff that you see, like the video that I put out today, for example, I made that video last August, and
Oh,
I've put
wow.
it out multiple times. Yep.
Okay.
I have recycled that exact post multiple
Is this
times.
the bombs? Is this the hit bombs one, or is this a different one?
It's the one where I'm wearing a t-shirt, these exact jeans I have on, and some Birkenstocks.
Okay, so different one. Okay.
And when I first put it out, the bulk of information back to me was, I can't take you seriously because you don't dress like a pro. The
People
second
are so
time I
helpful.
put it out,
Yeah.
people are, I mean, like Keyboard Carl over here, he's just clicky
They
clacking all the time.
Do
man.
not hesitate to give you their opinion. It is outstanding.
They do not. It is staggering.
My favorite
But the
part
second
about
time I put it
Oh,
out,
sorry, go for it.
all I was going to say is the second time I put it out, it went bananas. It
Huh.
it went to like I just took it off one of my pinned videos. It had been viewed before I took it off so I could repost it again. It had been
Yeah.
viewed over 620,000 times.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like the algorithm is just bananas. I don't know. And this time, like if I looked at it, I'm not going to pull it up because whatever. But when I looked this morning before I took it out of trial, which is another feature that exists in Instagram, you can put a video in trial
Got
and
it.
it will only be shown to people who are not in your following system.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
shown
that's
to
cool.
people that are just
Got it.
looking for stuff.
Okay.
And you can leave it in there for a really long time. And I left it in there for like 2.5 days and it had been viewed over 55,000 times. So
My God.
it's
Wow.
the system that I learned in the Coach Creator platform helped me learn how to create consumable content.
That's great. I really love that there's that
Thanks.
that people helping people and I mean it feels like you're doing the same. It's really that's awesome. On the video that I saw today where you were talking about hitting bombs and what I loved and I really saw it as like oh my God, this is so clever. You made a great video. It was short and to the point. And then in it says comment, hit bombs or whatever the comment was below, and I'll send you information. And if you go to the comments, it's like bombs, 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 bombs. Like and then there's a couple that have something snarky to say. And your response, and it made me laugh out loud, was thank you so much for commenting. It really helps. And it made me laugh because
it's an automated response.
It's a little passive aggressive and also fantastic because there's no way that helped you, and yet it helped the algorithm. Like, oh my God, that person felt the need to comment.
It does. Yes.
It made me laugh, though.
They put out something, good. I'm glad you laughed, but here's the thing that's actually the funniest to me about you finding that funny and snarky is that is an automated response that I built over a year ago, and it was meant to be in response to anyone commenting bombs or driver, because that's my trigger word. So when anybody says something like, yeah, I bet you really hit bombs because you're wearing those Birkenstocks. What they don't understand is that they're going to get a comment from me no matter what. But the first one is going to be, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And they have no idea that their shitty comment actually does help me so much because the algorithm could care less if it's positive or negative. They just want interaction. They don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got suckered into a similar thing last week where Cameron McCormick put out some sort of video about coaching juniors, and I shared it to our podcast story, and I got a message from Cam McCormick that says, thanks for sharing. And I'm like, oh, that was nice of him. And I started having a conversation with my old buddy Cameron. It might have been an automated response.
It's a possibility. I mean, the first one was probably automated. The second one, maybe not.
Well, and I pieced it together when 2 days later, I shared another of his, same exact response.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thanks for sharing. Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
So he's off the Christmas card list. That was very briefly.
Forget that guy. Yes, he was very briefly on, and now he's out.
Yeah.
He's out.
I feel so used.
Yeah. It's a bad feeling.
Hey, I'm going to ask you a self-serving question. Are you ready for that? We'll call it, let's start a new segment. We'll call it Asking for a Friend.
I'm not being selfish. I'm asking for a friend.
Okay. I like this.
This is great.
But yeah. But I mean, this is clear where this is going. Say a girl like me is looking to start out in the teaching and coaching arena, right?
Yeah, good.
what are the do's and don'ts, or like hard and fast, never do this. I made this mistake. Don't you do it? What are the, make sure you do this. Any like cardinal axioms that a girl like me must comply with starting out.
Yes. I would say a
No
safe
heads up.
bet
No heads up putting.
is I
Yeah.
I would say a safe bet is that like don't spend a lot of time talking to them, especially because they're boys. You need short, like here's the goal. This is how we're gonna achieve that goal. Now let's go to work. So there's let me draw this for you so that you can see this.
Okay.
I like
need
that
a
idea though.
big-
Short, keep it short, and then get them doing an action.
Get them
That
playing.
makes a
They need to.
ton of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like-
honestly, we're all like that. But
Man, I've built
teens
so many great
especially.
PowerPoint presentations too. Damn it.
dang it.
Kids, have a seat. Gather round by phone.
Sit, gather
Squint
round.
if you need to.
Gather
Yeah.
round.
We'll get on the course next week.
Right. Build,
Got it. Okay.
test, assess.
So
Love it.
build, test, assess in this triangle all the time.
I think that says
Amanda, I'm not
asses,
trying
to be fair.
I'm not trying to be difficult. You actually wrote asses, not assess.
Yeah.
You need one more S. At
That
the end.
100% says asses. But listen, if I build
All
and
right.
test,
All right,
That's
kids, let's get those
fucking
asses on the
perfect.
course.
getting some asses is okay. I mean, in the grand scheme of
Go
things.
get some ass. Wait a minute.
Can
what
I be
are
coach?
we teaching?
Can I be coach
forgot.
asses now?
I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Anyways.
Oh, that's great.
So I say that because I do that even with my adult players is we build out the skill. So whatever you're building, if it's heads up putting, if it's putting to rhythm, if it's playing a game called 18, like whatever the thing is, you introduce them to the skill, give them a way to test, to, build the rep for a while, and then have them test. And that's the game that they have to play. And they're always playing for score. High school age players always need to be playing for score. They need to play for points. They need to play for prizes. They need to play for coins to go hit balls on the weekend, whatever, something. And then assess. You can come back and say, okay, Brian, how many points did you get in 18? And when he comes back, he's like, I only got 4. And you could be like, well, your putting is trash. We're going to go do this again. And then you go to Steven and you're like, okay, Steven, how many points did you get? And he's like, well, I got 14. We're like, that's great. You hit the tee in one putt many times. That's really, really good. How are your short putts? Right. So then it's a way for them to practice, but also kind of investigate their own game while they're playing the game, because it's automatic feedback all the time. So if we're building skill, right? If you're working on distance control, I think you mentioned this in a podcast episode last time.
Yep.
If you're working on distance control, have them putt to nowhere.
Mhm.
Don't putt to a tee. Don't putt to a hole. Try to make the ball stop on the opposite side of the green before it turns to the fringe. Putt to nowhere.
Mhm.
Can you make it stop 5 feet short of that? Can you make it stop 10 feet short of that?
Okay.
Okay, cool. What's changing? Is it the size or the speed? Because your speed should always be the same. It's the size of your putting stroke that's going to change.
Mhm.
And if you haven't heard that before, that is what I will die on.
I love that.
Okay.
The speed is the same. The size is what changes. Find a song. For me personally, I like the song Grills by Nelly. It's at 82 beats per minute. And so if you're on that beat with your putting stroke, it's pretty likely that you can then manage the size of your putting stroke based on where you're trying to make the ball stop.
Okay.
So then
love
you
that.
can play whatever putting game you want to play. But again, it's back to that build the skill, test it, then assess. Build, test, assess. And then give them, and you don't even have to say anything. You could
Yeah.
just be like, so what was good? Cool. Okay. What needs to be better? And then they are the ones that are in charge of the improvement overall. It's less about you being like, you need to do blah, blah, blah. That never
Sure,
worked
yeah.
anyway. So yeah.
So
Love it.
they are
Okay.
involved in the assessment. You're actively getting them to assess themselves instead of just
Mhm.
getting an assessment for themselves. Like that's
Correct.
really cool.
It's It's part of
Love
their
that.
learning. And that all, I mean, we all know this because we're all golfers. It's just constant learning about ourselves anyway. And so,
Yeah.
you know, they're learning this from very early on. Like my choices have consequences, good or bad.
Mm.
Yep.
And so how do I move forward from that?
How do you
Love
get
it.
them to determine the rhythm
Thank
that
you.
they prefer to putt on, right? So I'm assuming that 82 beats per minute for you is your particular thing. But what if somebody is a 75 or a, but what, like, do you
Yeah.
find, is that like, I know I've seen the metronome drills, like I've seen that before. How does
I
a
would
young
say,
kid who's just getting in just determine what their BPM is?
I mean, fair question. And they don't determine it at all because they have no idea that that is even a thing,
Mhm.
that
Okay.
they can putt to a specific rhythm. They don't know what that they know what the beat of a song is, generally
Yeah.
speaking. But it's very rare that I meet a child who can explain to me that rhythm is the pace at which a song moves. They don't know
Okay.
that. They just know what the song sounds like. But that there is an app that makes the putting rhythm on the BPM that says tour tempo, tour tempo,
Mhm.
tour tempo.
Oh,
That's very
interesting.
slow for me. That's
Yeah.
too slow for me. But if I was putting on greens that were running at a 14, that
Good
would
God.
probably be
Yeah.
really good for me.
Okay.
I don't. My greens are right at a 10 or an 11.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've never putted that slow anyway. Tour tempo,
Yeah.
tour
That is. Yeah.
tempo, tour tempo.
Mhm.
Grills is rob the jewelry store and tell him make me a grill. It's that speed right there.
Okay.
1
Yeah.
and 2. 1 and 2, right? So if you put on the song, like, "Coach, you should just put on the song when we're off this call and go right over to that putting green and just see what it's
Seriously.
like for you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
And report
Okay.
back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. On that note, Amanda, we've had you for an hour. I can't thank you enough for coming on and indulging
This
us.
was so
And
fun, guys.
I
Yeah.
Good.
really,
Good.
I love what you're doing. I wish I
Thank
lived
you.
in NorCal and not SoCal, but yeah, it's I'm
Well,
super impressed
don't
with.
thank you. And I this is the only other thing I want to say
Oh yeah,
about the
please.
videos on Instagram. So when you said that you went to the comments and you saw that like 50 people commented bomb,
Yeah.
what my goal is with that is you get access to my free content on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you consume. And that next step, if you put in the call, that's called a call to action word.
Right.
It sends you in your direct messages an automated response, which will take you to another thing that's free. It's a handful of videos that are part of the course that 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 video is talking about.
Got it.
So when you see
Smart.
that thing on Reels, it's the whole goal is to drive people back to the content that I want them to buy.
Mhm.
So I give,
Totally.
give, and then I'm hoping that you will buy something. And here's the thing. The content that the course is that the content that it's trying to get you towards, which is the digital course that's available on my website,
Mhm.
is $50. It's a lesson for
Wow.
$50. Whereas if you hung out with me in person, it'd be $200. If you hung out
Yeah.
with me on Skillest, it's like $150 or $180.
Yeah.
But you can have access to that course for
Oh, that's amazing.
$50.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And it's pretty much exactly what you would experience if you were with me one-on-one.
So,
that's
what
so
exactly
cool.
is the handle on Instagram for folks to go find you then?
So find me at Amanda J. Beeler on Instagram. You can find me
Okay.
at Amanda Beeler Golf Coaching on Facebook. I think it's just Amanda Beeler Golf on TikTok and Amanda Beeler Golf Coaching on YouTube.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
thank
thank you
you
for your
enough.
time. I really appreciate it.
Oh my God!
Of
Thank
course.
you. I really for staying up. I mean,
Yes.
I know we're West Coast. It's not too late, but Hayes has
Yeah.
got us covered on that front. So
Yeah.
And for the
all
record,
right.
I won, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
he sure
I know.
did. Just
Yep.
not enough time.
But
Just wasn't
to be
enough
fair,
time.
coach and coach, it's just not fair. I mean, but, I'm fighting an uphill
I mean,
battle.
you're
Sure.
already outnumbered. You're totally
Yeah.
outnumbered. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna be next time we have you on, I'll be coaching something. It won't be golf.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was going to say, like, you got to do. Otherwise, it's going to be like, who let this non-coach on the podcast?
Yeah,
What the
exactly.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening.
All right,
Amanda,
gents.
thank you again, and we'll see you guys soon. All right. Thanks all.
Bye, guys.
Okay. I mean, how fun is she? Like, I feel like we just need to be friends now. I think that's really it. I think either my family needs to be uprooted and move to Northern California so that I can hang out with Amanda and she can hang out with us, or she has to come down to Southern California. That's it. Those are the only options. Amanda, thanks again for being on the show. I really love to talk to you, and I have a fun update. I've been working very hard on keeping my my left leg stable, and some kind of okay results so far. So I will definitely keep the pod informed as that continues. And yeah, that's it. All right. See you guys soon, and hope you enjoyed it. As always, reach out to us, BogeyBallSociety@gmail.com. Come find us at Life at the Turn, community.lifeattheturn.com. And yeah, just keep being you. That's my deep, heartfelt message to you tonight. Just keep being you. All right. See you guys soon.